Hey, how's it going, Ram Nation? It's Ryan Keating, Sports Information Director at Texas Wesleyan, here with Cameron Irvine, my assistant, and head baseball coach, Robert Garza. Hey, Robert, how's it going?
How's it going? Everything's going good over here. Doing the best that we can.
Yeah. So, Coach Garza has been head coach of Texas Wesleyan baseball since 2018, but he's been with the program since 2014. Started as an assistant coach, took over in 2018. In that year, Texas Wesleyan had one of its most successful campaigns in school history with 46 wins, the third highest total in program history. The team shattered the single season strikeouts record as a team with 521, which was 100 strikeouts more than in any other previous season. He had a All-American in Parker Robinson, a pitcher who graduated last year, and 5 Rams were named All Sooner Athletic Conference, and Mark Schreiner and Brooks Wallace were also named NAIA Scholar Athletes. Coach, talk about the culture of Texas Wesleyan baseball and what type of culture you're trying to build.
Sure. So, we've created an environment that's very simple. We kind of, I've read a bunch of books and just try to research, why are people successful? And regardless if it's in business or in sports or in football, baseball, basketball, it all boiled down to the people have to show up ready to work. They've got to redefine what work is. They've got to put in time, get their hands dirty, and put in time and actually really put in work to own their craft. And then they've got to be able to recover. And then so that's something that we try to have within our program. I wouldn't necessarily call it a culture, but more of an environment. So within that frame, our players are the ones that create the culture. Really, since Kelly and I took over, and I can't remember what year it was. I guess it was 18 or so. The players really took ownership of the one team, one goal mentality, and that was their culture that they created. But our environment that we've established is we want our players to show up early. We want our players to be willing to work to get better each day. We want our players to go to class, and we want our players to recover. Recovery is a big part of what we do. We expect a lot out of our players in the weight room, in the classroom, study hall, out on the field, and it's a big reason why we don't practice on Saturdays and Sundays. Is we want our players to relax and recuperate and refuel, and then be ready to go at the first part of the week on Monday.
Yeah. So you mentioned your assistant Kelly Shoppach, longtime MLB veteran. I remember him most from being a catcher for the Boston Red Sox, kind of a Texas Rangers killer. Talk about Kelly and what he brings to the table, his strongest traits.
Yeah, Kelly's great. We're so fortunate to have him here. I remember the day that he came and talked and really interviewed to be a part of our coaching staff. And, within the first 15 seconds of just hearing him talk and seeing what he was about, I just knew he was the right person. But he provides instant credibility within our players. He's done it. He's been where they want to go. And just whenever he speaks, everybody listens. And, he doesn't get too over emotional, but he's not so even keeled. He's right in the middle. That just he has an infectious attitude and an infectious personality. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves talking to him, being around him, and he's really one that has really showed and really taught our players how to redefine what working is. A lot of the players ask him, well, Coach, you got a 7:05 game. What would you do? And just to hear the stories and the things that he did while he was playing for a 7:05 game and how early his day started, it really just opened up the eyes of our players for them to really think, wow, if for a 7:05 game, at 11 o'clock, you're in the clubhouse. Wow, that's there's so many things that go on to it. So he brings ultimately just instant credibility, and just to have him around and the work that he puts in is really special. We've got to know, my wife and I have got to know him and Jen really well. We consider them family. We have a relationship outside of baseball with them, and it's just a special bond that we have. And like I said, his personality is so infectious, and we're so great. We're great to have him. We're blessed to have him.
I imagine it's an incredible asset to have, and something that sets your program apart from other programs as well.
Definitely.
So, Coach, talk us through the process of getting student athletes ready to compete in both the classroom and in the sports arena, from first contact of high school senior or transfer to full status Texas Wesleyan student.
Sure. So it kind of goes back to the environment that we've created. We talk about with potential recruits that we don't have rules on our team. There are no rules, but there's standards. You have to go to class, period. You've got to show up early to practice. You got to be willing to work. You may have to be willing to redefine what work is. You've got to put in time on the field and extra work in the cages and in the weight room. And then you have to recover. Those are big things for us that allows us to be successful. We want our players to know that regardless if you play every inning or if you don't play at all, every person has the ability to impact our team. We had a freshman this year that didn't see one time out in the field, didn't get one inning, one at bat. But he improved our team in the weight room by the way he worked. He pushed others. He showed others how to work in the weight room. And we want our recruits to know that whether you play every game, every inning, or you don't play at all, you have the opportunity to really impact our team in a great way. And I think it goes back to the one team, one goal. When one person wins, we all win. When one person's an All-American, we're all All-Americans. So, that's kind of what we try to tell our players coming in is that this is a special opportunity for them. It's a special opportunity for us. And we want people to be involved in it. We want people to feel ownership of this team. We want people to feel ownership of our program and the school. And then once they get here, it's just, okay, now let's get better. Let's figure out ways to get better in the weight room, on the field, in the classroom, with their personal time, with whatever they need. And our doors are always open for them to come in and talk about life. It's a special place, and just to have the players come in and talk about what's going on in the personal life, and not really talk about baseball. It's really neat to have that experience. And we're really blessed to be in a position to be able to do that. So I think all of that comes into play whenever we're talking about getting our players ready for the spring. And then as the spring gets here, then really, all Coach Shoppach and I do is get the field ready, fill out the lineup, and just let them go play. So that part's kind of it's fun just to see them take ownership, and then when they take ownership, now then they can go, experience the benefits of all the work that they put in.
Coach, we were all there for the last game of the spring calendar. It was your team, your proactiveness trying to escape incoming weather for that weekend pushed the series up, and we started it on a Thursday instead. And that game ended up being the last game played by anybody in the conference before things were put on hold. What was that experience like in the dugout? Because from the weather to the feeling in the stands to even the way that the players played, the game just felt different that day.
Yeah, just that was kind of really the beginning of this coronavirus, and just waking up, we just knew that just something wasn't right. That it wasn't a normal day. It was a bit. The sun wasn't out. It's a bit dreary, and it was cold, and we just didn't know what was going on. We knew we had a ball game to play, and then throughout the game, it was getting text messages and trying to figure out what was going to happen, and there was just so much uncertainty. And as a coach, the one thing that it's tough is the unknown, and there's a lot of unknowns in baseball. But we always want to prepare our teams to be successful. We always want to make sure that we have our team in the best opportunity to be successful. And when there's such an unknown throughout the day of whether that was going to be our last game or not, it was a bit tough for us. And I wanted to give every senior an opportunity to play because we didn't know. But we also knew that we had a ball game to win and we had a ball game to compete in, and it was a conference game, and each conference game is important. So I guess at the end of the day, whenever we did find out that Friday's games were going to get canceled and everything was going to be on hold, it was a very sad feeling, and really knowing that we may not see the team again. And in the post-game conference that we had with the players, I told them that I was proud of them for everything that they have done, and we'll always be here for them. That we didn't know, and I wish there was more that we could have told them, but we just didn't know what was going to happen. And if that was it, we wanted them to know how proud we were of them and all the work that they put in. And we kind of prayed that wasn't going to be it. And if it was, that everybody in our community and our family and our friends were going to get through this and without any issues.
What's been your advice to your players and people, potential recruits and just all the baseball players out there? Because baseball just stopped. And baseball, probably more than any other sport, I mean, once you're in the season, man, you're playing baseball all day, every day. It feels like there's a lot of games. There's a lot of time spent, with your teammates, with, out in the outfield, at the plate. I mean, there's just a lot of time spent, and then it just stopped. Nobody has ever dealt with that before, let alone, any baseball player. What's been your advice to your squad and to just others outside the program?
Yeah, it's just they're not in this alone, and this is such such a tough time within our community, and we want them to know that they're not alone, that we're all doing this together, and the emptiness that they may feel right now, there's no baseball, there's no fellowship, there's no community involvement because everyone has to stay home, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And fortunately, I guess there is a fortunate throughout all this mess, is that everyone did get to press the reset button, and we will get back out on the field, and we will have practice, and we will be in the weight room, and we will at some point be able to get into the classroom and be with our professors and all of our classmates, and we will do this again. The unfortunate part is it's not right now, but there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we're walking through this together. And that tunnel is getting, the light at the end of the tunnel is getting brighter and brighter, and we're close to being there. And whenever the school and our government and our elected officials allow us to be able to get it back out in the field again, then we have some opportunities to have batting practice and take ground balls. And we want even our alumni to know that when all of this is over with and we're able to unite on the baseball field, we even want our alumni to come out throughout the summer and take batting practice and just get away. And I think baseball has always been known as America's pastime. There's just something about baseball that allows comfort inside. It's a comforting sport whenever you're able to watch or play catch in the backyard or take ground balls or take batting practice. So we just want our players to know and everyone to know that we're going to get through this together.
On a more positive side, do you see, the benefits through struggle? How have you been taking this time and spending it in a positive way? I'm sure you found some silver linings through all this?
Yeah, definitely. I've been able to spend a lot of time with my family, with my daughter and my wife, that I wouldn't normally be able to spend during the springtime. I've being a baseball coach, you miss a lot of things, and we're able to spend time with our family. And I've taught my daughter how to hit left-handed, and all she wants to do is pitch, but I want her to hit. We've gone over schoolwork, and just spending time with the family has been very important for us. And then just communicating with our players. I have to continually tell them, we're going to get through this. Everything's going to be okay. Stay healthy. Make sure you stay on top of your grades. Let me know if there's anything that you need that we can help. And then at some point when this is all over with, we're going to be ready to get back out on the field.
Great. Hey, Coach, talk about a little bit about what makes you keep coming back to Texas Wesleyan every year. You've been here 7 years now. What is it about Texas Wesleyan that makes you say, this is the job for me?
Sure. That's a great question. At first, probably my first 2 years, I couldn't answer that question. But the more and more I've been here at Texas Wesleyan, the answer is just, it's just so bright to me, and it's the people. It's being able to work with you guys. It's having such great support with our president, having great support with Ricky Dotson, our athletic director, being able to fellowship with some really special people with Bobby Cornett and Sean in golf, and Kevin Milliken and Josh over in soccer. Just being able to fellowship with good people, people that come from good families, people that have great programs. Basketball's won the national championship, golf's won the national championship. A lot of our teams are ranked in the top 25. Table tennis is probably one of the best sports programs, in the country. And just being able to really fellowship with each other and just talk with each other about different things has been pretty special. And then it's really the players and our assistant coaches throughout the years. We're very blessed to have Kelly and Jen be a part of our program and our family. But there's so many other coaches: Luke Jones, Ted Wisdom, Craig Sumler. So many people that have helped out along the way. That's really helped us become who we are, and the players. I always talk about the first year, the Jake Hallis, the Tyler Camps, those type players, the Jake Davises, Garrett Crooks, and even with our first recruiting class with Alex Gudak and Eric Casada and James Ziegler and Casey Moses and Wade Regas. There's been so many special people that we've connected with and that we stay in connection with throughout the years. And it's really been the people and the support that our school gives us that makes this job so enjoyable.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Let's talk about your playing days for a moment. I think you were a catcher. You played at Dallas Baptist, right?
I did, yes.
What is your favorite memory from your playing days?
Wow, great question. Let's see. I probably have three. One of them was when my mother and my grandmother, who came up to DBU and got to see me play in my last game. At that time, my mother wasn't able to travel much. My mother and my grandmother weren't able to travel much, and just to know that they were there to see me in my last game was really important, because that was the last game that I ever played. And then, I think I was a senior in high school, and we were playing against a local district team, and we were losing in the seventh inning. And I don't remember how much we were losing by, if it was bases loaded or two guys on base, but I know we were losing. And I had just come back from an injury, and I'd hit a double, and we wind up winning the game. And I got to second base, and it was just kind of that, clear the mechanism moment where you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear the whistles, the cheers. You couldn't hear the sounds of the lights being on at night. You couldn't hear anything. But I looked in the stands and I saw my brother standing up with his arms in the air, and it just made me feel like I made him proud. And I have an older brother, and I think growing up, all I ever did was want to try to make my brother proud of me. And really, from that moment, it was just very special to me, and my relationship with my brother changed. It wasn't what can I do to make my brother proud of me. It was like, wow, I see it. And then we grew so closer together from that time period, and just seeing my brother with his hands raised was a special moment. And then I think the last one, and probably one of the most important moments I had, was again in high school. I was on the state championship football team. In every game, I would always look up in the stands, and I would see my parents, and I'd wave to them, and they'd wave back, and they never missed a game. And I knew they were never going to miss a game, but it was just more of saying, I see you, I love you, thank you for supporting me. And then when we won the state championship game, one of the first things I did was I climbed up the wall in Texas Stadium. My dad came running down. I gave him a hug that probably lasted 10 seconds, but for me, it just seemed like it lasted hours. And those are moments that were very special to me that I was able to have with my family.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about what frustrates you most as a coach. What's your pet peeve?
Wow. I think the frustrations that we have as coaches is when we hear that players have lost the passion to play, regardless of what sport it is. And we're actually recruiting a kid now that's out in Arizona, and he mentioned to me that he just lost the passion to play, and it saddens me inside, because I just feel like that Kelly and myself, we didn't get our opportunity to really impact his life, and we didn't get an opportunity to really be with him and maybe fill up the emptiness that he has inside. And whether it's a player that we're recruiting or a player that we currently have on our team, it's just it hurts inside, because we're not in the business to win. I mean, we're going to win no matter what we do. We have that environment. Kelly's a winner. I'd like to think that I'm a winner, and we're going to win baseball games. But we have to continually remind ourselves, what are we doing here? Well, what's our purpose in life? And it's not to win baseball games. It's really to grow these young men into men. And when we hear that there's someone that just doesn't have the passion anymore, it kind of puts a little emptiness in our stomachs that we didn't have the opportunity to really touch them and impact their life.
Okay, well, I think it's time, Ryan. We have to find out who's in Coach Garza's house here. This is our most fascinating question of the series.
Sure.
But Coach, you're quarantined, and you can share a house with 3 Texas Wesleyan staff members. So who's in your house?
Wow.
And why?
Oh, wow, that's a great one. There's so many people that you would want. I mean, it's hard to pick 3. It really is. I would think having Brennan would be one. He's very passionate in what he does, and if you're watching some old basketball, games or some baseball games, I could really see Brennan really get into it, and just I'm sure he's a life of the party. And same thing with Kevin Milliken and Sean and Bobby Cornett. There's just so many really good people. I think the number one person that we would all pick would probably be Gibbs. That guy is just an ultimate character. And, you watch in our office, you just kind of kick your feet on the desk and just listen. That's all you want to do is just listen. And so I'd probably say Gibbs, Brennan, and probably Kevin. Kevin's really been a mentor, whether he knows this or not, been a really mentor to me. And whenever I got on board there at Texas Wesleyan, he was very open of let me know if there's anything that you need. And then when Kelly and I got hired, he'd give us phone calls, just want to make sure you guys are okay. Let me know if there's anything that you need. We support you type stuff. So those 3 guys would probably be ones that I'd enjoy having here at the house.
You have some young kids at home. You've watched a lot of animated movies during this quarantine. But if you could only watch one for the rest of your life, what is your top children's animated film?
Wow, children's. Wow. Let's see. Utopia is number one. We kind of talked about that. I really enjoy Utopia. Um, I'd probably say Frozen, number one. I think that was really the movie that I really connected with my daughter whenever she was, getting to that age where she could really watch movies and understand them and know what's going on. And then number three, let's see, what would it be? Probably Coco.
Yeah.
My daughter and I, we really like watching Coco, and anytime the mariachis in the movie start playing or the guitar starts playing, you can kind of see her get off the couch and start dancing. So I'd probably say those would probably be the main three.
As life gets back to normal, coach, or when it does, what's the first thing you're going to do? The thing you can't do now that's eating you up inside. What are you going to go do when all this is over?
Wow, probably probably get with Kelly and go to all of the places where we used to go eat lunch and dinner, and just say, all right, we got about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Let's go hit them all up. That's something that we're looking forward to do. Looking forward to playing golf with some of the coaches there at the within our athletic department, and really just uniting with the players and any alumni that wants to come out and take batting practice or field ground balls, just to be able to provide that environment and a place where we can try to move on from what's going on in our society and just have a place where we can just get away.
Okay, Coach, how can a potential recruit or prospect get a hold of you if they need to?
Sure. So, there's so many avenues to get in touch with Kelly or myself. Facebook, Twitter, our cell phones, just feel free to call. Parents, please feel free to call. I enjoy talking with parents and letting them know what we're about and who we are as people. And then obviously the email, feel free to email us and reach out to us. Send videos, give us a little background, anything that allows us to be able to put eyes on you where we can't go out and watch games, or we can't have you over and have players and recruits over on tryouts or anything like that. Anything that you can put on video would be great, that where we can be able to really see you. So there's so many outlets right now going on. Twitter has been huge. We've been reached out to a lot on Twitter, on both my personal account and our baseball account.
So you can follow Coach Garza at Airborne Attack, right? That's on Twitter, at Airborne Attack?
Airborne Attack, correct. Yep, Airborne Attack, and then Texas West Baseball, as well as our team account.
Okay, and then just a reminder, if you'd like to contact Coach Garza or Coach Shoppach by phone or email, go to ramsports.net, go to department, click on the staff directory, and find baseball, and their information is there as well. All right, thanks, Coach. We really appreciate you stopping by and talking to us.
Yeah, thank you guys, and we really want to say thank you to all the first responders and all the people that are out on the front lines, just helping unite our community and allowing our community to get through this, and all the doctors and nurses, especially the doctors and nurses. We're really connected with people within the Fort Worth community, and Jaden Mehta, one of our members of our team, his dad's a physician, and we just really want to thank him and all the work that he's doing. So we really respect and honor the first responders and the people out in the front lines and the churches that are passing out food, and all the volunteers that are helping our community get through this. So we just want to say thank you.
Yeah, there's brave, and then there's a different level of brave when you go out every single day and you put your health on the line, and you have kids at home and you come back to them, and you have to sanitize every night and then go back and do it again. It's really astounding the amount of support that we have and from those guys, and yeah, we're we just really thank them for everything that they've done. Thanks again for your time, Coach. Ram Nation, we'll see you next time.